It's update time. Hey guys, how's it going? Marcelo here. Happy New Year. 2025 is here. This is going to be a pretty big update video. Hopefully not too long, but there's going to be a lot stuffed into this one. And I'm going to be honest, it's a pretty big one. So I'm going to try and stay optimistic, energetic, and determined about all this. And I'm putting it out there. So, let's see how this goes. We're gonna just, chop it up into segments as per the usual, and let's go. Okay, so first and foremost, I need to apologize for the last couple months of last year. Oh boy, did I get hounded with a bunch of stuff. So, of course, around here for our family, the end of the year is pretty dang busy. So September usually doesn't have anything going on with it. But with the release of the big-ass Twinsanity video that I put out, the retrospective, it was really huge, took a lot of my time, a lot of money as well went into it, and I still like the way it came out. There's a couple things, editing stuff that I have with it, but other than that, the video itself I'm extremely proud of, and I'm really glad that, I was hoping, like I said in the Q&A video, that it would get, I hope it gets more attention as, we go along. It wasn't the most ceremonious upload, and it didn't immediately get noticed by a bunch of people, but it's slowly going along, so that's awesome. After that, October rolled around, so I had a hangout with Miharu over at her place. We got ready for Halloween and all of that, and then immediately after that it was November, so we had my brother's birthday, my grandma's birthday, we've got Thanksgiving stuff there. So gifts and things had to be bought for that, and then on top of that, December rolled around, which, Christmas and New Year's and all that. So there just wasn't, financially, I'm trying to, stay on top of it all. This is behind the scenes, out of the content and everything. IRL, yeah, just trying to stay on top of it financially and everything. And so it's been stressful. It's been busy and hectic, but thankfully we're sort of out of it, not quite, but we're out of that big ol' thing that happened, all the stuff that was happening for end of the year stuff, which is why I haven't been uploading much at all. And again, I apologize for that, because I do have 2 videos lined up that I want to do, and so we'll get there in just a minute, but that is why I've been very absent and barely streaming, a couple little stray streams here and there, making little tiny appearances in some of Miharu's streams, some of Fez's streams, trying to, stay relevant, stay, in some kind of public eye for a little bit there, but I'm ready to come back to the channel proper, sort of. I mean, oh boy, because channel things, this is the update video, channel things, there's a lot happening, so that's 2024, again, apologize for not being around so much at the end of the year, but it was hectic, so, with that out of the way, yeah. At least in 2024, there were a ton of new games and a ton of streams and videos that I did make throughout last year, and it happened again. I talked about it in the Q&A video, but it happened with Klonoa, it happened with Doom, now it's happened with Resident Evil. It's just another franchise that I've been hyper fixated on. So content for Resident Evil may or may not in terms of videos and stuff, but more maybe streams of those games will come in the future. I'm still trying to get through as much of the series as I can, but that's besides the point. There are tons of stuff we played, tons of things we did last year, and it's been a lot of fun. There's just been a lot that I've been realizing with the channel and everything as we've been going along, and not even just last year, but the last couple of years. But before we reflect back on stuff, let's fast forward into current day where we are, 2025. Boy, so the first couple months here will be the same as you've always known it. I do want to try and get some last minute stuff in a bunch of different little series or things or whatever that I've started before. So if I could get at least one more Bandicast podcast episode in, I want to go for it. Not sure who the guest or whatever is going to be, but I'll just ask around and see what happens with that. I still have at least one character crash analysis video that I'm currently working on. It's, already the scripting phase is done. I just got to record and do all that nonsense. another 1-1 episode. I had at least 4 planned on the pipeline, but I don't know if 1-1 might stick around. I don't know for 2 episodes, but I want to get at least a 3rd one in there, so we'll see if I do that. Stuff like that. So, another Crash or Spyro themed discussion video, another 1-1, another Bandicast podcast episode. So for these next couple months, this month and at least the next 2 to 3, things are going to stay familiar. But later in the year, okay, so I gotta be real with you guys. We're gonna have sit down time with Papa Mark. Grab your chairs, your couches, all that stuff. Dim the lights. I don't know, mood lighting. Turn the music down for real. So I've been doing this for a decade, which is crazy. And technically this year marks 10 years since I got quote unquote serious with doing this, right? Speculation videos on Crash before the comeback, stuff like that. Later discussion videos where I was directly in front of the camera, talking about whatever stuff in games, game design, game elements, what have you, reviews and all that. If you guys remember that far back, there were a ton of things that I talked about and all of that stuff. But when it takes you 10 years to hit 4,000 subs, and you want to treat it like a career, that's kind of an issue. Only in the sense that I've always said in the past, the numbers never mattered. It was always about the entertainment, and it still is. It still very much is. Even going forward into the year, it's very much going to be about the entertainment. But when it's supposed to be a career, the numbers do matter. And I've made analogies and stuff like that. The totem pole shtick I did in like an update video or 2 ago. And that's fine and all. But I'm done with that. I'm going to stop kind of using those little totem pole analogies and things like that and saying I'm a smaller channel. Everything about from this video onward is the theme of 2025 is growth. And I'm talking like true growth. Because not only do I have the channel monetized, but technically right now money isn't actually flowing through. That's mainly because there are still some things I need to set up with the YouTube. This is all behind the scenes crap, but I need to kind of bring it forward to just let you guys know and to be a little bit transparent about it. So like the stuff's been monetized for a while, but nothing's been technically flowing through because I still have some extra steps to set up. It's just taken a while, and it's been this like kind of domino effect and this like whole back end thing of, okay, well, step by step. First, I have to have my bank account all set up. I had that done years ago. Then you gotta go and make sure that online banking stuff works. I'm not gonna get too much into this. I know it's gonna be a little bit boring, but get all that stuff working with your online banking to connect it to other stuff. PayPal, AdSense, things like that. That took me a while, and it really shouldn't have. So I'm aware of that. Of course, trying to explain stuff like this to the family, my mom, stuff like that, they've been on my case about it. So, that stuff actually is already kind of done. I got a lot of that stuff done with the online banking specifically and stuff. I got that done last year, but it should have been done like way before that. And that just goes back to a lot of stuff. How do I want to explain this? It goes back to the fact that it takes me a long time to do stuff like that, because it's not an excuse. I swear it's not an excuse. If you have the same experiences or the same feelings as I'm about to explain, then you kind of understand where I'm coming from. I'm an introvert, so I'm not very good at talking to people, and I've let that hinder me. And I shouldn't have. So for the last 10 years, which was the beginning of the beginning of my 20s. I don't regret anything that I've done on the channel. I've, going to E3, meeting Miharu, doing everything, like, I would not do any of that over again. But what I would do is the stuff that I should have done way earlier. So I could actually get more of the ball rolling earlier, and making a job out of this and stuff. So it's worked from some people, and a lot of people blow up in certain different ways. I just never have, and it's that liminality that always kind of killed me, because I was always so close to kind of bumping myself up to be able to say, hey, I've done some cool things, and it's because of doing what I do, that I could truly make a career out of it. All of this to say that is the goal of this year, to make a career out of it. It's going to be hard. And the whole thing about the introvertedness is because it took me a long time to get the things done that I needed to get done. And because of that, I feel like I've missed out on a lot of the stuff that I probably could have had done in past years in doing YouTube and stuff and what have you. So almost in a way, not by doing the content at all by any means, but in that behind the scenes stuff and kind of just waiting for stuff to happen but not getting it done. To a degree, I kind of, I do regret that full-heartedly, but to a degree, I kind of feel like I've wasted my 20s doing that. Because in doing everything I've done here, there's not a whole lot to show for it. And I already know what some friends are going to say. Fucking Fez and and Abdul are going to go in the comments and go, dude, you're fine. You have your fan base. You have your audience. You have your friends. Which is all totally true. If I can just be greedy for 2 seconds, it's not enough. And so what I mean by that is we need to kick things up a notch and get serious about what, we need to do, what I need to do. Because again, when you're treating this like a career, stuff matters. Things, the numbers and everything do matter. But that stuff will come naturally. So anything I'm about to say or things I'm about to voice or what have you isn't with the numbers in mind, but it's in the back of my mind. Because like I said, it's still about entertainment at the forefront. And then you're probably going to be a little bit confused by what I'm talking about and thinking, why does this matter? It's because it's what I've always wanted. What I've always wanted was to grow an audience from something small to something bigger, not to get famous or popular, but to establish myself. And again, make a career out of doing this. Once I found out you could make a career of doing this as long as you just have the consistency and have the backup, which is you guys, then we can just keep it going until I'm ready to do something even bigger, which is what I'm trying to aim towards. All of this to say, after the first few months of this year, stuff is going to start changing. First in small ways, then in slightly bigger ways. I'm not leaving. That's the whole point of me making this, is to say that I am proud of what I've done before, for the past decade. But I've just kind of cruised on without trying to push myself forward. And better late than never, this year I'm turning 30. And you shouldn't really be having this at this age, but I'm kind of having an existential midlife crisis. Because I'm finally realizing, I love what I'm doing, but I need to do it more professionally. And we need to upgrade this. We need to make sure, we're putting more effort into it than we have before, which is always what I'm trying to do, but bringing in all that behind the scenes shit forward, like that's what I've neglected to talk about and neglected to, acknowledge. And so it's important to acknowledge it. So the thing I'm waiting for, as I try to get my notes awkwardly, what I'm waiting for is this year's tax season. Once I get all my tax stuff filed and all of that nonsense, I'm still working at, the FedEx that I work at, but I want to balance out doing that and then doing this. I want to, start making a proper career out of this, so I can kind of do the two side by side, and then might be a bit ambitious to say now since I'm talking about all this crap, but hopefully this can start being more stable, more financially convenient, so I can start working at the warehouse less and less. Because there's an option for that. I can go on, not so much as part-time because I'm already on that, but like, what's it called? Not situational, it's something, I can't remember the word at the moment, but occasional, there we go. So, I can start properly balancing out doing YouTube and doing that. Anyway, so there's the spiel, there's the real talk. I don't ask for it much, but I'm gonna need your guys' help. We need more communication, and I need to definitely be more consistent, which is what I want to try and work on this year. And I just need to make sure that who I have still now does have my back. I don't want to sound selfish by saying that at all. But I'm trying to be my own hype man, but I need the hype of the crowd as well. So that makes sense. That being said, let's talk a little bit about what's happening this year. One of the big videos I do want to do at some point, long form content I see, on YouTube is becoming much more relevant. So that's why I made the Twinsanity retrospective, because not only was it celebrating 20 years of one of my favorite games in the Crash series, but it was like a 40-minute long video or so, and it encapsulated a lot of what makes the series fun, what makes that game in particular fun, a lot of very crucial members that, were very prominent around that time. So all of that was super cool. I'm going to keep doing stuff like that in the future, and one of the biggest videos I want to do, which is going to be late in terms of the celebration, but since it's still going on at the time of this recording, but the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, which is fucking crazy to say, is still a thing. It's still going on right now, as again of the time of this recording. But later down the road, I want to do a retrospective on PlayStation, and so it would be the consoles. It would be, again, community based. So I would, ask upon you guys to send in your own submissions of your voiceover and be like, hey, do you remember PS1 the most, PS2, PS3, 4, 5? Which one did you start with? So like things like that. That's a kind of a tease for one of the big videos I want to do a little later down the line. But I bring it up because that retrospective is going to be the last video I do under the Destination Mark name. So let's rewind again. 2012, when I first asked my friend Weston, back when we were in high school, senior year, to start YouTube. Let's make some YouTube channels and, do some funny shit, and it started as just a little passion thing. Because I had Paint Busters 316 when I was like in 8th grade or so. So I wanted to do YouTube again. We came up with West Side Studios, if you remember that. I know Zark does, if you're watching. West Side Studios, we made late 2013, well, rather, mid 2013. It was right before we graduated from high school. West Side Studios, and then 2 branches off of that, which were our individual channels. Weston Boulevard and Destination Mark. It was just, the theming was just, hey, what's the hip and hoppinest place to be on YouTube? These channels where we goof around and do silly shit. So it was all about location. Not much thought beyond that was put into it. I thought it sounded okay for its time. I came up with a bunch of different names, but Weston Boulevard, incorporating our names into the title, Weston Boulevard, Destination Mark. So I've been known as that for the longest time, and even in my closet back there, I've got my jersey still, the Rumble jersey from the Activision event, that has Destination Mark on the sleeve. So that's always going to be a part of my YouTube history, and I'm not ashamed of that at all. I've also said before, I think in the previous update video I did from last year, that you can't search me up when you type that in. You type in destination, you get a bunch of other shit. So in terms of improving YouTube stuffs, search things and what have you, also it's not as much of a mouthful, destination mark. The new name I'm gonna go under, I'm not gonna say it. So just a little bit of a teaser. Not gonna say it, but it is happening. I teased the idea of it happening potentially in that last update video, or how many other update videos ago. But I've thought long and hard about a lot of this shit, bro. Like, I've thought long and hard about this stuff. Don't be dirty with that. It's happening this year, so it's not a brand new identity. I'm not gonna like totally change. I even made a fucking April Fool's joke about this shit a long time ago. But it's actually real this time. It's happening. I'm not changing everything about the channel, but some focus shifting will happen, and the name's gonna change. The aesthetic of like the location thing, I'm gonna bring up the background that I made. All the graphics were for the most part done by me. There were some things I've used in the past that were done by either Fez or like Dave or whoever, but like the location and what you see here, that was inspired in part, two inspirations by Impractical Jokers, their background, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Those were that aesthetic of having the like sketchy looking whatever punk rockish background. That was cool. May or may not keep that, but have it refined. But beyond that, I mean, we're gonna just do some cleanup, have more professional graphics and artwork done by, you know, other artists and what have you, people who do this for other YouTubers, other streamers, and things like that. So that's what I want to have done as well. It's gonna look better. It's gonna look cleaner. It's gonna feel more professional and feel a little bit more serious, in the sense that like it's still gonna have a fun feel to it, but it shows that now I'm buckling down to make sure that the channel looks cleaner and more presentable, mainly. But yeah, that's all gonna start with the name change. Streams, which I already know Connor is going to be a little disappointed about. I'm so sorry, dude. Streams are in fact changing. For right now, these first couple months, not so, not necessarily. But in the future, there's so much to explain, dude. Holy shit, I thought this wasn't going to be like a long video. Oh god, okay, we need to rapid fire this. I need to stop being so sentimental. So, I'm going to be streaming more on Twitch, which is funny considering that I never used to really use Twitch that much back in the day. But seeing just how like kind of viable it is, and the fact that a lot of friends I know are on Twitch anyway, and that's their primary streaming service, I'm already there, so it doesn't hurt to put more focus there. Not to mention, we're gonna refine this in the same way we're refining the channel aesthetics for YouTube. We're also gonna that's gonna go to all my socials, really. So Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter, here, and Twitch. We're gonna refine everything. So banners and what have you, that's all what I'm talking about. For Twitch though, I mean, it's gonna look a little bit more like how you see traditional streamers and stuff. I've tried messing with 2 different backgrounds and stream layouts and stuff, but again, most of that was done and structured by me, so I'm not a graphic designer, not a professional one by any means. Hopefully, if you guys have liked what I've done with, you know, channel aesthetics and stuff, thank you. But it's not professional work. So, professional work, I think, is needed for a job like this. But Twitch is going to pretty much become the primary place I will be streaming, because I want to also, again, take advantage of, again, being on there, hitting affiliate, hopefully hitting partner, having to learn a bunch of stuff as if I'm a boomer, like, oh, I need to figure out how to set up emotes and better alerts and make sure, you know, I'm still new to it. So, I will be asking around probably at some point for someone to kind of help me out to figure that stuff out, so I'm not completely lost when I'm trying to, again, take this more seriously and, you know, follow more of what you see when you watch other people. And on Twitch, I mean, it is a lot of fun. the people that I've been watching on Twitch and stuff, whether it's, you know, IRL dudes or VTubers alike, like they're fun, they're funny, and they're awesome. And so that's kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? Like that's kind of what I want to follow, for lack of trying to find the word, the model. There we go. That I would like to follow, because I see that, you know, it's cool, it's fun, it's modern, it's, you know, current. So I'm not chasing a whole bunch of trends, but, you know, you gotta take a few so you can, you know, so you can grow, you can be seen, and exactly the thing that I want to have happen can hopefully happen just by following a few little set things that most other people do. So in streaming on Twitch, I want to try and, you know, get stuff set up over there to financial, monetary things, so we can, you know, have stuff there, donations, funny alerts for donations, things like that, memberships, what have you. Like, I want to start, I mean, Haru's already kind of jumping in on that on YouTube. She's even, for this year, her plans, streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. I might even try that before we switch fully over with the new name and all that crap. So, hopefully in the next, like, a month or so, even a couple weeks, when I start getting back into streaming more consistently again, maybe I'll even use what she uses to hop between the both, you know, at the same time or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But just letting you guys know, Twitch will start to slowly become the place for streams. We'll get to, you know, raid people a lot more, and it'll be a lot more fun that way, because then they'll get to see us, and then having that connection, having, and more so, I don't want to say more so as if I'm, you know, again, being too selfish or whatever, but like with a lot of people who are already streaming practically full-time, who do it kind of, you know, as a career, I do want to meet more people like that. Again, introvert, I talked about that earlier. It's going to be really hard to talk to people and to meet people proper. A lot of the friends I have, even, you know, including Miharu, I met by circumstance, coincidence, through other people. Some of the people I've, you know, some of the friends I talked to who've been in my streams as of kind of recent and, you know, last year and what have you, I wasn't so nervous talking to, because I already kind of knew them from being in the comment section of videos, or being, you know, in the chat during streams. So it was easier to really get to talk to them then, and, you know, of course, even now. But in wanting to meet and collab, you know, specifically with more people that I don't know, just to, again, expand the horizons, expand what we can play with, who, have, you know, I still want to stream with multiple people, but I want to start, I think, narrowing the focus down to people and friends who very much are streamers and stream regularly. In the past, it's been really hard to, you know, get a lot of online friends plugged in, ready to play, ready to, you know, be in the streams, because they have work, they have other things, they are not content creators in the same way that, you know, I am, in the sense of just doing it consistently, and it is more of a hobby for them, and that's totally fine. And I'm not gonna just abandon those online friends, obviously not, but in trying to laser in the focus a bit more, make it more concise, consistent, things like that, I do want to hang out with and really collab again with more people who are streaming a hell of a lot more regularly, and who make content a hell of a lot more regularly. So you're not just everyone I've ever streamed with is just not gonna show up at all ever again, but like I want to start introducing more people into my channel, get introduced into their channels and stuff, and so we'll see where that goes. Again, I'm talking a lot big right now because I'm in front of a camera, there's no one else in the room with me, but if I ever stutter or don't know what to say, or I'm just silent for most of the interaction, which shouldn't be the case, but if anything like that ever comes up, I'm going to apologize for my awkwardness. I hope it doesn't come out too much, because that's what I'm trying to break out of, is being, you know, so weird in interactions like that. So that's that. Oh, also I have a webcam now, so you will see, you know, Mark on camera again live as we stream. I don't want you to see all of this stuff behind me, so I'm going to actually probably green screen it when I stream. That will actually, a little bit of a teaser again, also that will leak into doing the green screen on camera stuff, will leak into videos in the future, probably once the big revamp happens. So there's that. So then what does that mean for videos here once the big revamp happens? What am I going to do here if I'm trying to kind of end everything else I've done? Well, again, like I said, long form content. I do want to do more deep dives, retrospectives, things like that. Maybe start like one new little series that I've been toying with the idea, and it'd be kind of cool. It still lends into the whole deep dive / retrospective. It's kind of like a little bit of both type deal, but it could be a fun idea. So I've got some ideas for videos still, and then of course on top of that, if I'm going to be streaming on Twitch more, then the VODs, select like best ofs and what have you of different like game series that I'm doing, will make their way onto YouTube. So if you miss a stream, then the VOD will come up, you know, like a day or so later here on YouTube. It's not going to. This channel is not going to be become an archive of stream VODs, but that is going to be one big thing that will be coming to the channel way more consistently, way more frequently, because I've already been bringing a lot of my Twitch VODs over pretty much ever since I started doing Twitch. But with that being one of the bigger and biggest focuses for this year going forward, you're going to see a hell of a lot more, you know, Twitch VODs, best ofs from those streams and what have you. But that's not to say that, you know, I'm not going to stop doing Crash and Spyro content. Right now we're in the drought phase, as we tend to be every so often, which is totally fine. If I can find a way to, you know, bring Crash and Spyro into the new stuff I want to do, then I'll definitely do it. But that is to say, while I still consider myself one of, you know, the Crash tubers that people probably might think of when they think of Crash tubers, hopefully. It's not going to be a big or even top priority going forward. You're not going to see a ton of Crash and Spyro videos the way that's pretty much how I built up my identity. Again, the last 10 years, I've had a lot of, and I forgot who asked in the Q&A video, but they asked, like, you know, more variation in your content, stuff like that, what you're playing. And like I said in the video, there is. I just haven't brought, like, a whole lot of it into the content. But what I mean by that is, like, you know, I just got to Resident Evil. And what I say in this video is, we'll probably see more content. So, in the form of streams and stuff. But, you know, in the streams, I have been, you know, doing tons of games that aren't just platformers, Crash and Spyro for that matter. But my identity is known. A lot of you do know me for doing Crash and Spyro stuff. And I've gotten, you know, opportunities to, like, go to Activision to play Crash stuff and get, you know, this stuff. It's all been Crash and Spyro. And it's going to continue. Crash and Spyro will continue to be part of the channel. It's just not going to be the main focus anymore. Where I can and when I can, like I just said, Crash and Spyro content will still be a part of the channel even after the revamp. But when the revamp happens, the focus will be a little less on Crash and Spyro, since again, there isn't much you can do with it right now. I've already streamed most of the games. I don't know how much more I could say about the franchises without, like, making shit up. It's kind of what I did. I've kind of done that before with the Aku vs. Izuka video or stuff like that, the Iceberg video, when I didn't really have many more ideas to do with the series, with the franchises. I'll just resort to doing videos like that where I think it'll make a good video, and then I just go for it and see what happens. But because of that, it just kind of means that, you know, with Crash and Spyro as franchises not being so consistent in their releases and us finding out about them right now, for me, it's not really worth it at the moment to keep waiting for news, waiting for stuff, and keep making specifically Crash and Spyro content. That's one thing I've also done these last couple of years, the last 10 years, is I've really put myself in this little bubble of specific content for a specific fan base. And that's what I want to start to break out of. And again, not abandoning Crash and Spyro at all, in case you think that's what I'm getting at. Not at all. but I need to break out of the bubble doing specific content for a specific audience. Those videos will still be for that specific audience, but I want to do other videos too and talk about other things that isn't just Crash and Spyro. That's already been happening on the channel, but that is now going to become a focus. So that's what I'm saying. And with the desire to connect more and do more stuff, I teased it again a couple update videos ago. That does mean, at long last, when the revamp happens, there will be a Discord server. For sure. I've talked to many people about it. I've had people say they will mod for me. I've had people say they can help me to start one. So with Miharu and a couple other guys help, a couple other friends, it's going to happen. So I do apologize ahead of time. Right now, before it even opens and is even conceived, I'm going to apologize way preemptively in case I am not super duper active there, but I'm going to try to be. And I say this because we had the clapped Team Rumble server that Fez, made. There was the first one that Dave made. A hacker got in and ruined the fun for us, so we made another one. In checking in with friends and stuff there, that has been the most I've used Discord, because beyond that, or before that rather, I wasn't using it a whole lot. Only when we had to do a Bandicast or do something else. But I have to learn how to help manage a server. But in being in servers like that, way more consistently, it's helped me to just kind of learn about them and how they work and whatever. And I'm going to keep learning, of course, because I don't know everything. So I will be making mine way later, hopefully before summer. The whole revamp, if I didn't already say, should happen before summer. Like I said, couple 4 or 5 months from now. So Discord, maybe Patreon, don't know yet. I'm still trying to think again of just what we could do for tiers, stuff like that, things you can help me with, things I want to provide for you guys. Once I get that ironed out, you will hear more about that in the future. Don't have anything else to say about that other than I've been thinking about it a lot, so it may happen. But the Discord server is definitely going to happen. So that leads into the focus, and this is where really heavy stuff has to kind of, for me mainly, has to be said and be announced. So the focus, like I said, there's the Crash and Spyro stuff and all of that, and so in terms of that focus, there's that. We've actually talked about focus a lot in this update video. It's about the focus of trying to take the content creation more seriously, take the streaming more seriously, the focus on trying to interact and collab with more people who are streamers and content creators themselves, who do it super consistently, already have their fan base, stuff like that. Hopefully, we're accepted in each other's stuff, and I want to talk to more people, interact with more people. So there's that focus. The focus of Crash and Spyro isn't going to be the overarching thing of the channel, but they will still definitely be there, but branching out to do more content once the revamp happens. But I've been juggling a ton of shit online, and it's gotten really hard to do, and it's been very, the things I've been doing on YouTube in general have been a lot of fun, but I'm kind of a one-man crew right now. I hope to not be in the future, because that's another thing I noticed too. A lot of bigger content creators, it's not just them. They are on camera and they're the ones making the content, but in terms of everything from management of certain things, channel aesthetics, what have you, stuff we've already talked about, they have people that they've hired, or friends who can help and do all that with them, for them, stuff like that. So that's something I'm trying to look into as well. But my focus has been split into a lot of different things. There's doing this channel, which is the most popular of the ones that I've been managing. Westside Studios, VidGames FTW, editing for Miharu. That's a lot of stuff that I've had to, juggle. I've almost missed deadlines for Miharu, and I've felt very bad every time, one was so close to I don't know if I could make it, but then we end up making it last second. It's been tough. And so the thing is, I'm going to stay one of Miharu's prominent editors, mainly for smaller focus videos, whether it's character analyses, how many ever more she can do, top 5s or 10s, things like that. Smaller discussion videos that are like, 5 to 10 minutes long, I can do those. The deep dives and stuff that she wants to do, those are going to take those take as long as the ones I do and want to do. I couldn't edit the Cinder, for example, I couldn't edit the Cinder video for her because I was doing the Twinsanity video. So, again, it's about focus and not getting burnt out on editing and doing stuff. So, the focus is going to have to be on this channel. And that's something I've always known, but again, never took seriously. Never, never taken seriously. So it's with a heavy heart that I announced in this update video I am going to keep closed Westside Studios. And this may be the final year of VidGames FTW. If you don't know what VidGames FTW is, I've mentioned it, a ton of different times. It's my Let's Play, gameplay, playthrough, whatever you want to call it, channel. I do with my friends here, locally, but some online friends like Jeremiah Isaiah, Josh Gaming, Jim and Rocks, Miharu, have all made appearances. Sadie, don't want to forget about Sadie. And doing Let's Plays, it's always been fun, and I don't want to stop that. So if ever in the future I can open that door again, I will. But a lot of my local friends, we're in our 30s. We're about to be in our 30s. We're trying to move out and do different things. And, Chase has already told me he has plans to move out of California. Wes has already moved out of his parents' house, has a house with his brother and his sister, but he has plans to move to another state later too. And I don't want to be just stuck here, and I definitely don't want to, there's no way I could, if I was that greedy, tether them to me and that channel and doing the gameplay stuff and recording things. We're not making money off that. That channel has 200 subscribers. I spent 10 years on that fucking channel. 10 years on a channel that was fine that it went nowhere because, again, it was for the entertainment. It was just for us. For all of us in the circle who wanted to stay together and play games. It was for us. But it can't be anymore. Because us isn't going to last the way it is right now. So it's better to get a little bit ahead of that curve and start wrapping up playthroughs, having just a couple, new ones introduced that are smaller scale, won't take too long to, do, before I close that channel off too. VidGames has been a huge part of what I do. It's just not something that took off because I wanted to put the focus here. But trying to do videos and streams and deep dives, whatever, here, and then trying to do, these recordings and these sessions of having to record a bunch of footage for games on that Let's Play channel that wasn't going anywhere, only had 200 subscribers, it's not worth it. In the sense of everything I've talked about in this video. The focus, everything else. It was a passion project that needs to end. Because it's been going on for a decade now. And it's hard. It's really hard for me to even announce that. I haven't even told the guys yet. Oh, Jesus Christ, why am I getting emotional? I haven't even told the guys yet, but it's something that needs to be done. So, this is probably the last year of Westside Studios and of VidGames. Because, again, I want to put the complete focus onto here. So, that's what we're doing. Oh, this video's been going for too long. Okay, so last thing. A teaser for what we are doing immediately. So, before, pre-revamp, These, this month, next couple months, there's some videos I want to do, and there were videos that were supposed to come out last year, but they're going to come out this year. So I'll tease some stuff, because this is actually actively in the works. That's another thing. I want to make sure that I actually keep my damn promises. So I won't be announcing just a whole lot of stuff and being like, hey, I'm doing things, when, like, I have yet to start them, and then they don't start. And they don't, come out when they're supposed to, and I've been really bad with that, so I do apologize again for that as well. But these two things I can't talk about because they're things that, were supposed to come out. They're still in the production phase of, I'm still making these videos. But the next Crash character analysis video I'm doing, I did one on, it started in order with Coco, then Cortex, then Fate Crash. Next one I'm doing is going to be on Tana. That's going to be tough, because there's actually a lot more to her evolution than you might realize. And there's a bit of controversy involved as well. So I'm trying to, make that the best video it can be in terms of the scripting, which is already done, but I'm going back, I'm, revamping the script and going through proofreading again and again to make sure that the things I'm saying come out clearly, professionally, because again, some subjects in there might be a little touchy. If you know Tana and know kind of the controversies I'm talking about, then you might already know where that might be headed. But I want to make it a fun video, first and foremost, obviously. So Tana is next. It's interesting, which is why I chose her to be next. And the Crash / Spyro video, it's just both of them that I'm going to be doing as well as a discussion video, is pretty much about the bizarrely similar history they've both had, and how that's brought them to where they are now, and why one seems to be a bit overshadowed. So there's that. In terms of streams, immediate streams, I do want to start Anton Blast, the full game, because that's out, and I bought it on Steam. So there'll be a Steam Deck stream that'll be coming soon, and I do want to do a part 2 of demo disc stuff for with Fez. We did one for Christmas Eve. It was right before his birthday, and it was a lot of fun, but we vastly overestimated, or underestimated rather, the time it would take to go through certain demo discs and stuff. We only went through 3, maybe 4. That's across the both of us. So I had 7 lined up just on my own end. So I want to go back through and, with him and do more demo disc stuff, because it's nostalgic, it's fun, and it might make for some entertaining stuff. Play, demos of games that I've never played before. I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time, sort of. I tried to. It was really weird. I had to get used to the controls and stuff. For me, it's PS1 demo discs. For him, it's PS2. So that should be a lot of fun. And the last thing I have to say, which is just last minute notes that I'm just going to read off pretty much on my monitor. The changes here that I'm making, everything we've talked about in this update video. What did I say? Did I say I wanted this to be 10, 15 minutes? That is so not where we are now. I apologize. Everything that I've talked about, all the changes, everything reflect my desire to grow, evolve, hone my focus, and collaborate much more than we have before. Because that's something I want to do, I've always wanted to do, and I need to start kicking myself in the butt to do. Like I said too, I need your guys' help with that. However you want to support, however you can support, it's going to mean a lot. Doesn't matter what you do. If you do or don't donate, totally fine. Trying to, again, make this more of a career choice for me, that I can kind of, balance with what I'm, my actual job right now, and just see where it goes. So the theme of the channel will still be the same, but the one big focus, as it's always been, but more emphasized this time around, is nostalgia. So if you've seen my aesthetics already and seen, how I carry myself and carry things I'm doing in the games I'm playing, it's always been about more of the old school stuff. That will never leave. It can't leave. So I'm just embracing it more so than before. Nostalgia's the theme, name of the game. Even, especially once the revamp happens, still the theme of the channel and of me, my branding, what I'm bringing to the table. It's nostalgia. Of course, modern shit too, obviously, but a lot of my interests, a lot of my, fondest, games and memories all lie in the old stuff. So there's that. Yeah, I really am embracing. I'm just gonna read the notes here. I'm embracing the nostalgia feeling much more. It's gonna be scary. Like I said, it's gonna be really scary. I'm very nervous about all of this, but I want to take everything a hell of a lot more seriously. Make up for lost time. Make up for the fact that a lot of the stuff that I'm getting done now should have been done years ago. And I don't want to project where the revamped style and where all this is gonna go, but I'm going to give it some time to see if it sticks and see what we can do, and just hopefully everything I'm saying actually does come to fruition, because I want it to, and hopefully we can just keep going from there. My notes say, in the end, I think it'll be worth it, because we'll be able to do and experience so much more than we have in the past. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be scary. But I'm honing in the focus here. We're all going to be here. So, no more vid games, no more West Side Studios. Still going to edit for Miharu, just not the big crazy stuff she wants to do. I've got big crazy stuff of my own. But I'm going to be doing still a lot of the smaller stuff for her. The focus needs to be here. So, as long as I've got your guys' support and you're behind me, and you please tell me I've got this. Please tell me I've got this. I want to have this, and hopefully we'll make it happen. So that's it. Sorry to get all weird and sentimental on you, but that's how it's going to be. Here's to the future. here's to the future, and I hope we can get this done, and I hope that... Oh god, I really had a mind for it there. I hope that, the year will bring good stuff, and that we're able to see this stuff through. So, I'm Mark. I'll see you guys later. More info to come. We're not done with stuff yet. We're just getting started.